What's up, guys? Derek, moreplates.moredates.com. Today we're going to be talking about why you still aren't shredded eating like a bird. One of the biggest problems I see when people are cutting is I'll get an email or I'll get a message, Derek, I'm cutting on 1,600 calories and I am 11% body fat and I want to get down to like 7. What do I do? The problem with this is, first of all, pretty much every single time, the problem is cutting calories way too soon and down regulating your metabolism to a point where you're basically dug yourself into a hole and have to climb back out and fix your metabolism. Because if you cut your calories way too soon, the problem is you're forcing your body to adapt and slow down, essentially. Your body reacts and adapts accordingly based on what you provide it energy wise. If the same reason why if you're bulking up, you increase your calories to 3,300 or whatever, you gain weight for, a week or two and then everything plateaus. And then now when you're eating 3,300 calories a day, your body is just staying the same weight, regardless of the fact that you're in a surplus. The reason is because your body adapts and fixes its metabolism, or I guess auto regulates your metabolism to accommodate its new intake of energy or calories. So when you're cutting, the exact same thing applies. If you're at, let's just say, 3,000 calories and you cut your calories to 2,700 to start your cut and you're losing weight fine, all of a sudden you plateau one day and you're like, oh shit, I plateaued. So now I'm going to cut my calories to 2,400. And then all of a sudden fat loss starts again. You're losing tons of fat, tons of weight super quickly. Everything seems fine. Another 2 weeks passes and now you've stalled again. And it's like, shit, I'm not losing weight anymore. So what do? Let me drop my calories by another 200 calories. So now I'm down to 2,200 calories. Fat loss starts again. Everything's going good. Another week or two of that. Now I've stalled again. Okay, well, I guess I got to go down to 2,000. Boom, fat loss starts again. You plateau again. You can see where this goes. Eventually, you get to a point with many guys who don't have a significant amount of muscle mass that's giving them a fast metabolism because, first of all, the number one way to stay lean without trying is to gain muscle. Muscle rips through calories at rest. The number one way you're going to get lean and stay lean easily is by gaining muscle long term, because muscle is what burns through calories at rest and requires energy to support. So going to the gym and exercising and doing a bunch of cardio, while it expends some calories, that's like a small fraction of your daily expenditure. Like, what is going to determine your energy expenditure on a day-to-day basis is going to be your literal muscle tissue, more or less. So the more muscle you have, the better. But obviously, if you're already cutting, you can't really do anything about that. So that's like the bulking strategy. Like, ideally, that's why you want to gain as much muscle as possible in your off seasons. But as far as cutting, the main issue is cutting the calories too soon. So as you could tell in that outline, let's say we're down to 2,000 calories now. You plateau after 2 weeks again. You cut your calories to 1,800. Before you know it, you're down to like sub 2,000 calories and you still aren't where you want. And the reason is because you cut your calories too soon. If you're in a 300 calorie deficit and you plateau for one day, it does not mean that your body has already down regulated its metabolism and needs to have another calorie cut. Sometimes you could keep the same weight for 3 days straight and then all of a sudden you'll drop a pound. There's tons of factors at play, like fluid retention, literal food in your stomach, lots of things at play that just because for 24 hours the scale doesn't move, it doesn't mean you've stalled. So the problem is a lot of these guys, they think they've stalled, so they cut their calories again and they keep progressing, but they've cut their calories before they needed to. They could have stuck with that calorie allotment for another, week and probably milked another 1 to 2 pounds of, loss out of it, or, half a pound to 1 pound or whatever it is. And by cutting calories far too soon and far too aggressively, you've basically forced your body into a state where, okay, this guy is like severely depriving me of energy, so I have to slow down to make sure I don't starve to death. Like, if you cut down to 1,800 calories way too quickly, what's going to happen? Your body's going to downregulate far quicker than it would have if you had kept your calorie intake higher, but you didn't get any of the fat loss that you could have got out of those increments 1,000 calories above where you're at now, when your body, had a faster metabolism. So basically, the way to circumvent this issue and to prevent it from happening to you is, if you're in this position, you're at sub 2,000 calories and you're like, I know guys that are like my weight and height that are eating as much as like my girl to get lean, and my girl's like 90 pounds and they're 180 pounds trying to get to, 7% body fat. They're walking around at 13%. They can't get any leaner because they've cut their calories down to like 1,500, and they're doing cardio for an hour a day and they still can't get where they want. And it's because they've gone from like 3,000 down to like 1,500 in a matter of like weeks, as opposed to milking all the fat loss they could have out of each increment. So, my general approach to cutting and how I advise you do it is, start with a minor deficit, much like you would with a lean bulk. You have a minor surplus of 300 calories, have a minor deficit of 300 calories to start the fat loss process. Milk all the fat loss you can out of it. Just because you plateaued for 24 hours, it doesn't mean you've plateaued. Your body doesn't just down-regulate and adjust in 24 hours. Like, there's an adaptation period, but once it's adapted, you can be damn sure that you're probably going to need to, restrict more energy or increase energy expenditure more. The problem is you don't want to do that too early. So basically, you want to yield the most benefit you can out of each deprivation increment. And then once you've ensure you've plateaued, then you cut again. And that cut shouldn't be an extra 300 calories. You can start the fat loss process just by dropping another 100 calories of carbs or whatever. You don't have to cut 300 calories every single increment, because before you know it, you're going to be down to 1,500, 1,600 calories and not be losing weight. You're going to be 14, 13, 12% body fat still, and be thinking to yourself, oh, I just need to like starve myself on chicken and broccoli at 1,100 calories now to get lean. And this is what guys do to prep for shows. And it's like, no, that's not how guys do it who know what they're doing. Like, most guys who are muscle bound, obviously they're going to, be able to cut on higher calories, but guys in general that know how to diet, they know not to shred their calories from like 3,000 to 1,500 in a matter of like 6 weeks, because that's what's going to wreck your metabolism. And then that's what's going to put you in a position where you now have to reverse diet or like fix your metabolism by increasing your calorie intake and, revving your metabolism back up, because you can't, expect your body to respond once you forced it to adapt to basically starving itself. Because once it's in this period of preservation, you're not going to yield any additional fat loss out of it. Like, your body's now in a state of like hyper fucking stress trying to keep everything on your body because it doesn't want to die. So if you, are starting a cut, start with a 300 calorie deficit and go from there. And my general rule, obviously this depends on if you have a timeline or not, because if you actually have a timeline, you have like an event to prep for, or a photo shoot or a contest or whatever, your timeline's going to be different. But in general, what I like to do is a 300 deficit, and then I don't change things until I've plateaued for a full week. And at that point, I either restrict another 100 calories, usually coming from carbohydrates. I either add cardio session in, or increase my current cardio sessions by like 5 minutes. And those are the options. I either increase my energy expenditure or I reduce my energy intake. And when I reduce my energy intake though, or increase my energy expenditure, it's in a small increment, and then I milk the hell out of the fat loss potential out of that increment until my body is down-regulated again and is now adapted to it and is no longer allowing me to yield any additional fat loss out of it. And then I look at, the next increment after that point. But it's like my plateau assessment is like a full week. If it's 24 hours, I'm not losing weight, it's not the end of the world. It's not time to drop another 500 calories, because that's where you get the guys who end up at sub 2,000 calories and still not being at the body composition they want to be. So be careful of that. Big mistake I see guys make, and then it just like ruins their entire year because they have to go, fix their metabolism and then start cutting again. And it's like just like a huge nuisance if you don't start it properly to begin with. So I highly advise you prime your body with bulking up and gaining as much muscle as possible while staying as lean as possible in the bulk. To some extent, obviously, some fat is to be expected, but in terms of, the goal of each bulk phase, aside from gaining muscle, should also be to prime you for your upcoming cut, where you ideally want to end it eating more calories than you were your previous cut before, because you now have more muscle tissue on you, and you're just smarter about the way you manage your macro allotments and your energy intake and expenditure. So, anyways, take from that what you will. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, check out my blog, moreplatesmoredates.com. Check me out on Instagram at moreplates_moredates. Follow me there. Drop a comment, helps the algorithm, and it's much appreciated when you guys do that. Talk to you guys soon.